Are you using AI? What do you know about AI? Well, in this podcast, I'm going to break down some of the basics of the 3 key players in AI on Start With a Win.
Welcome to Start With a Win, where we unpack franchising, leadership, and business growth. Let's go.
And coming to you from Start With a Win headquarters at Area 15 Ventures, it's Adam Contos with Start With a Win. Have you been using AI? I've been using it a lot. And we always hear about it. AI this, Chat GPT that, Google Bard, all of these different things matter. And I want to walk you through just a few things to get you started in using AI. First of all, what is AI? It stands for artificial intelligence. It's been around since about, early 2000s, really, but ultimately it's become extraordinarily mainstream right now. In fact, something like 80% of people have heard of or thought about using ChatGPT or said that they have. I don't think that many people have, but realistically, only about 14% of people are still using it. What I would like for you to do is try out AI, and I'm going to tell you how to do that. There are 3 different AI programs that I want you to look at. These AI programs are what's called generative AI and large language models. So there's a couple different types of AI. Typically, they fall under one of those 2. Generative AI is something that kind of does a hodgepodge of different things, such as you can load data into it. You can ask it questions. It can generate information. And typically, there's a large language model, which is a trained language model that sounds like a human being. And you can pick the language you want it to show up in. But typically, it sounds like a human being. And in fact, one of these even talks to you right now. I did a little experiment on my phone last night just to see what happened here. And I'll show you a outcome of this. I did this on the app for ChatGPT. So ChatGPT is a generative AI or Gen AI program. It also has a large language model within it, but it will go out and it will do research. It's learned over and over and over again on really billions of data points. It's incredible. It's way more than you can possibly fathom. But this thing's smart. Warning to the wise. These things also make up answers if they don't know. So that's called hallucinating. Have you ever talked to somebody who they remember a story, but they kind of change it to meet the needs of right now? And you're like, that's not entirely truthful. Well, it's because it's happening in their brain that way and they're hallucinating that. It's the same thing in AI. So always fact check your AI. What I typically do is I have 3 tabs open on my browser in Google Chrome, and one of those tabs is ChatGPT. It's OpenAI ChatGPT is what you can search for in the web browser, and then log into that. Make sure you log in. I have the paid program. It's just $20 a month. It's just a couple of cups of coffee a month, and it's worth it because you get active search on Bing. So a couple things you need to think about is in the bottom corner of ChatGPT, you can click the 3 little buttons down there, and you can give custom instructions such as, hi, I'm Adam Contos. I'm the CEO of several companies, and I have a leadership podcast. It will cause me to ask you these questions. Please ask me enough questions back in order to get the right answer. I would like a statistic, and I would like a quote on each of your responses. All right, I'm going to pull up ChatGPT on my phone, and we're going to talk to it now, which is one of the new features of having ChatGPT for the $20 a month version, as well as the on your phone type application. So this is an iPhone, and I've opened ChatGPT. You can see here, and in the upper right hand corner, I actually have a headphone icon that you can see, and we're going to ask it a simple question such as, give me 5 leadership tips, and let's see what it says. Give me 5 leadership tips, please, that are common leadership gaps.
Absolutely, Adam. Here are 5 leadership tips that address common gaps. 1, emotional intelligence. Often overlooked, emotional intelligence is key to understanding your team and making better decisions. Develop this skill to better navigate complex social situations in the workplace. 2, listening skills. A gap that some leaders have is not listening enough to their team. Active listening can not only solve problems, but also build trust. 3, delegation. Many leaders struggle with letting go of tasks. Learning to delegate effectively can free you up for strategic thinking and decision making. 4. Adaptability. The business world changes rapidly, and leaders who can't adapt are left behind. Being open to change is essential for long-term success. 5. Feedback mechanism. A lack of regular, constructive feedback is a common issue. Establish a strong feedback loop with your team to foster growth and development. A quote that I find relevant is by Peter Drucker. Management is doing things right. Leadership is doing the right things. Statistics show that companies with strong leadership are 13 times more likely to outperform their competition. Source, CEB Global. Would you like to dive deeper into any of these points?
No, thank you. Okay. As you can see, this is pretty advanced. Imagine asking ChatGPT to tell a bedtime story to your kids. Obviously, I would be present for that because you just don't know what it's going to say, but I would think that it would do a pretty good job. So that's just one key current aspect of the existing AI. Another thing to think about is pictures. We learn a couple ways. We learn by doing, we learn by seeing, we learn by hearing, and we learn by reading. So when you consider all of those different aspects, ChatGPT can do a great job of educating us, as can these other large language models and generative AI models. So I mentioned to you that I have multiple tabs open with generative AI programs on my browser that I use on a regular basis. The three are ChatGPT. You just heard the voice piece of ChatGPT, and ChatGPT does a great job of generating really, really good responses. It's all about the prompts that you put in. What questions do you ask, and what are those instructions for responding that I told you could input in there? The second one is Claude.ai. This is an Anthropic model. So the most funding in the space has been given to ChatGPT. It has the most users. It made, I think it was 1 million users in 5 days, which is incredibly powerful. And there are millions and millions of searches going on at any moment. So you've got ChatGPT. You have Claude AI. This is an Anthropic model that has been funded extensively by Amazon. I think you're going to see Amazon using this quite a bit. And we'll see all of the different pieces of this sitting in the Amazon cloud also. So be looking for the Amazon results to show up. Amazon's been using AI for a long time in how you shop, how it presents different things to you, as well as how the little robots pick the product out of the different warehouses and place their inventory. And Amazon, UPS, FedEx, all of them use AI to tell their drivers where to go in order to avoid traffic and use the least amount of gas and wear and tear on the trucks and the tires and the people and stuff like that. So we have got ChatGPT, we have Anthropic. The third one is by our friends at Google. So obviously Google, huge player, one of the major contenders first of all, in the marketplace, one of the most prolific technology companies on the planet. But Google has what's called Google Bard. You can search for Google Bard on Google. You can search for Claude.ai on Google. You can search for ChatGPT on Google or on any of the search engines, and you will end up with those. But put those on your computer tab. Start playing with them and learn about what they do. Here's the other reality. Google owns YouTube. The number one search for word on Google is YouTube. So a lot of this is proliferating into YouTube. YouTube is now releasing AI itself and has been for a little while in order to beef up their algorithm. But ultimately, we're going to see a lot of videos generated this way by the AI. You're going to see deepfakes. You're going to see a lot more, if you can think of it, it's going to be created in video, or if you can't think of it, the AI will get really creative and create amazing videos. But start using these things. Don't be left behind. It's just incremental. It's fascinating. Instead of going to social media, to TikTok or YouTube or Instagram Facebook or Instagram, go over to these AI programs and punch in a question. Put it in each of them and then compare the results. And what I do is I copy all the results from all of them and I put them in the one that I like the best and I say, summarize this. And it will put everything together. These will also summarize articles, they'll summarize videos, there's all sorts of other crazy cool things you can do, but ultimately start by playing with these three: ChatGPT, Claude.ai, and Google Bard. I'll see you next time on one of these key business tips.